Now look out. Owen could be gone. Owen, he's scored!
That last pass is from the net.
Another pass across Titan with a shot on the net, and he scores!
This is it. Dolphins, stop our toss. Net under the second zone. Dolphins scores. He scores.
Now it's a breakaway pass. Buzz Flibbit. Look out, he's got an open net. Oh no, Buzz Flibbit.
Off the stick. How did Katie save that? On Damocles. Scores!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another Pro Division game between the Rocky Mountain Reapers visiting the Albany Beavers. I am your host, Alicat, and currently by myself in the booth today, but still we're going to have an amazing game regardless. But we are definitely going to be getting underway here soon, and as the teams start to vote, we're going to start seeing this soon, and it'll probably be a little lonely here, so we'll get this started, but we'll be doing our best here at the PHL and the PHL network as teams face off and we get ready to go at center ice. As it goes to Bubba moving across off the post right there. Oh, technical difficulties, folks. 1 second. There we go, as we're back. Apologies. Name's right there. Bubba racing along the sideboards, going across, sends it out. Meat Sail gets to there for the Beavers. Beavers at the blue line as it's bounced back towards the Beaver zone. Kiwi along the board sends it all the way up to Ratty, but it's intercepted by a series of letters I do not know and have no idea who is. So Pretty moving up along the boards, sending it all the way across to Bubba as Carl's racing it, sends it along the boards to 29 across. Ratty out in front, sends it safely up to Meat Sail, who's driving with speed. Owen's on him, Pretty's on him too. Meat Sail around, sends it across to Ratty, and it's intercepted by Owen in the front of the net, as Grip didn't even need to do anything there, just kept an eye on the net. Owen moving up, sends it across to the center. Ratty and getting it back, and a couple turnovers over here as Ratty sends it across to Carl. Carl tries to get it over as it sends across and up across, and Grip gets one past him. As we see a little bit of a breakdown in the play. Cute Carl coming up across and just chipping it and getting it just high enough, and it's off the stick of Grip. Not a fantastic save, but, you know, stuff like this happens. It happens occasionally, and, you know, that's not necessarily on Grip. It's just a little bit of a chip shot, you know, every now and then. Carl comes all the way up. Pretty is going to send this all the way down to center ice, and it's going to be blocked by Meat Sail, who turns it over and sends it to Ratty, but no one was home. But they're going to continue on. Bubba sends it across to Owen, who is streaking on his own. Moving across, sending it off, and it's off the stick of Rogue, off the post. Bubba tries a rebound there. And Meat Sail is just going to poke this right to the boards as he sends it behind. Owen on the corner there. Putting it down behind Rogue. Bubba flubs it a little bit as it's sent up to center ice. And Ratty is going to shoot this all the way down and get a clear for the Beavers. 1-0 game, and a bit of a slow start for now. But definitely one that the Beavers are enjoying, and it's a little bit even in terms of shots, but we're definitely seeing that coming up as Meat Sail sends it to the pads of Grip, who gets it back behind. Pretty's going to send this all the way up as Bubba couldn't quite get a handle on it, and Meat Sail is just going to flip it up. to Ratty, who tries to get a handle on it, jumps for it, and Meatsail is going to cut through multiple defenders and doesn't quite get where he wants to go as they send it all the way up, and Rogue's going to come out and shoot it down all the way to the Beaver zone, and Pretty will come away with it in the neutral zone. Cutting across. Pretty and Cute Carl interrupts the play there as Pretty tried a few dangles as Owen takes a beautiful look at it. He's on his own, sends it across, and it's off the body of Rogue. Great save on that. Great patience by Rogue as Owen sends it across, and it goes up, and it's wide. And in the top corner for the Rocky Mountain Reapers. And it looks like after Rogue's body, he just sends it across and just not enough time to get there. And it's 1-1 for both the Reapers and the Beavers. Really seeing more goals than we're used to in the first period. Usually a bit of a slow start, but it's definitely picking up here, and there's movement across both sides as both these guys are going to battle, and Cute Carl will come away with it. Send it with a beautiful backhand tip to Meatsail. Meatsail trying for a wrap and doesn't quite manage it. Meatsail dekes around, turns it. Ratty bats it off the pads of Grip. And the Reapers will send it all the way down to the neutral zone, and they're going to try a long shot as Meatsail gets a stick on it, but it's too low, and it bounces off the pad of Grip. Puck goes all the way to Owen in the offensive zone. Owen takes his time with it, sends it across to Bubba. Bubba shoots wide of the net, and Bubba will come around with it, trying to get an angle on Rogue, and Rogue denies him. Sends it back to Owen in the other corner. Cute Carl behind the net, sends it all the way up to Ratty at the blue zone. Sorry, the blue line, excuse me. And Ratty will try to race for this. He's going to try to beat the defender of the Reapers, and he just manages to get it back to Kiwi, who's running with speed, and they don't manage to clear the play there as looks like Carl got it all the way down there. And sends it across, and that is going to do it for the first period. 4 shots apiece for both these teams. Same score, same story. And this is going to be a game. We're going to see probably a couple of balancing acts to really even this out. We're just going to wait to see an offensive explosion from one team or the other. And as we go to center ice, and we get right back into the game as the Reapers will win the face-off, and Owen's going to run with it, sending it across, and no one was quite there, but they do manage to come away with it. As Meatsail is going to safely take this in his own zone. Meatsail coming up with it. Meatsail sending it across to the corner as Ratty will win in the draw there, and he sends it across back to Meatsail, who's in center, but Hijinks bats that away safely in his net and sends that, opposite his net, and Bubba will go for a shot, but it's blocked away by the Beavers' defense, and Meatsail once again has room to sends it across to Ratty. Ratty shoots up, and it's just wide of the net. Meatsail tries, it's off the stick of a Reaper's defender. Reapers send it deep, back into the own zone, but it's off the pad of Grip to make a nice save there and keep his team in it. Owen coming back for it, Bubba in his own end. He's got Carl on him, sends it across to Owen, still in their own end. Ratty's going to try to come away with it, but Owen tips it over and up to Hijinks. Hijinks has got 3 defenders on him. Hijinks sends a shot, and it's off the pads and wide of Rogue. Meatsail coming up with speed, also got 3 defenders on him. Meatsail dekes, moves around, sends a shot right on Grip, and it's off the body. Good chest save by Rogue, not to move. Sorry, Grip there, excuse me. To keep going. Beavers are going to send this one up back to Meatsail, who sends it across to Carl. Carl moving in, and Meatsail bounces it just off the stick of Grip. And the Beavers are starting to come away with some offensive pressure as Pretty, looks like the Reapers have a 2-on-1 here. Pretty coming in, sends it out, and it's off the pads of Rogue. Good offensive pressure there. No pass, open lane, but Ratty here he comes. Goes for a drive, and it's off the corner of the crossbar for the Reapers as they send it back across. Pretty blocks it, sends it back to the corner. And it's going all the way up the neutral zone. As Carl will win that draw there. Carl sends it across to Meatsail, who wasn't quite there in time. Meatsail still comes away with the puck as Hijinks battles him and sends it up to Bubba, who's not gonna barely have enough speed as Meatsail bats it away. And look out, we talked about 2-on-1. Now they have another 2-on-1, but it's for the Beavers, and the Beavers bounce it right off the neck of Grip, who's got to be feeling that in his throat by now. Bubba sends it up to Owen. Owen in the Beaver zone sends it out. Meatsail gets it away from the dangerous area in front of the net. Carl running with speed, trying to get away from Hijinks. Carl sends it up. Carl trying to deke around, and it's up, and it's just not quite on net and doesn't have the speed to get past Grip. But nevertheless, a great play by cute Carl to continue this game. Reapers will come away with it, and Hijinks will send this all the way up to Bubba, who will, and the Beavers will say return to sender as they send it all the way back. And Ratty will put some pressure on Pretty here, and Meatsail will put some pressure on him, and he gets it up. But the Beavers will win that face. No, they won't, and Hijinks will come away with it, and it's a 3-on-1 here. Hijinks sends it across to Bubba. Bubba shoots top left, and he scores. And Rogue just gets beaten here on a 3-on-1 defensive breakdown as 3 Reapers players had all corners of the net covered, and they could just pretty much do whatever they wanted. And that'll be 2-1 for the Reapers. Reapers will come away with this. And they'll send it all the way up to Ratty. Ratty on his own sends it, and Grip just gets a pad on it to save the Reapers and their lead. Pretty coming in on his own, and he goes just wide of Rogue and sends it to Bubba. Rogue out of his net, and it's just off the back pads. That could have been dangerous if he was turned the wrong way. But so far, no dice. Rogue is keeping it in them as we come to the end of the second period. And we'll take a quick break for me to get some water. Apologies there, I got the wrong rosters. Now I have the right roster, so yes. Beautiful play by Meatsail right off the face-off to just go all the way up and beat Grip one-on-one as he just comes away with this Meatsail. And Carl just going all the way right off, and just Meatsail taps it in there. Beauty of a play, and a great way to start the third period for the Beavers. 2-2 tie game. They sent it up, and just to go across, and Rogue will bat that back behind his net as the Reapers will try once again to send it across, but it's up and over the net, and they'll have to take another draw for this. But Kiwi will interrupt that and start the offense for the Beavers once again. Sends it all the way up there, almost hitting our cameraman. As Meatsail comes away with it, and Grip manages to get a pad on it. 5-hole open, but says no. Just in time. Bubba will send it back to his teammate in the offensive zone, Chadwick. Chadwick sending it up. Chadwick sending it back to Ratty, who will intercept that. Ratty, for the Beavers, will come away with it, but it's going to be lost to possession to Pretty of the Reapers, as Kiwi decides he's had enough of the interruptions and interrupts that, but Owen will come away with it, sends it, and it's just wide of the net. Bubba will come around for a wraparound, sends it up, and Ratty is going to be the one who comes away with it. He beats Chadwick. Look out, we might have a one-on-one. He's got 3 defenders on his way. Ratty going wide, and it's just wide of the net, barely. Great play by Ratty. Sent across, and it's off the post or the pad of Grip, as he's the one now to keep it going. Pretty's gonna win the draw here. Chadwick's just gonna take some time in his own end. I believe that's Chadwick. I am not able to read those characters. Currently the third. I don't know why it's broken. Yes, I am gonna have to check that eventually. But the Reapers win the draw. Sorry, they get a play here. And great goal by the Reapers. No idea why the score bug is broken. We love production issues at the last minute. It's great here. Meatsail sending it all the way up, as they're going to feel the offensive pressure here. Get something going. Pretty high scoring game overall, but the surprising part is the balance between the two teams. 3-2 is the score. And Rogue will come away with it and try to send it up to Meatsail, but the Reapers are going to be the ones who win it, but Meatsail will win the battle and the race there, but Chadwick is going to be the one to say no. He's going to come for a wraparound. Meatsail. Meatsail tries to get it centered out, and no one was home. Owen will attempt to go along the boards, but he'll fail. Bubba will win that, and stick there by Carl keeps the defense going and draws the offense for the Beavers. Reapers are going to get it back out to center ice. They're going to send it up, and Pretty was not close enough to make a draw there. But he does win with speed there, but he bounces too far, and Meatsail sends it up to Ratty. Ratty and Cute Carl on a 2-on-1. Look out. Ratty sends it up, and it's just barely out of stick range of Carl, but he wraps around, and it just goes a little wide. And Grip has the net. Ratty going for a wraparound. It's blocked. Sent into the corner, and it goes along the boards. Up back to the blue line, as Cute Carl is going to bat it down to the corner. Meatsail going for the win at this race there, and it's interrupted. Meatsail coming away with it, going up and across, and it's batted back out of the air by the Reapers defense. Beavers are pouring on the pressure as Bubba gets it away, and he's just going to flip this up into the air to save some time. Ratty is going to come away with it. Owen's going to race him there and speed down. Indeed, it is the third period. Unfortunately, the production issues persist at the last-minute change of things. Ratty sends it up. Meatsail. Bubba's going to shoot this all the way down. Kiwi's going to get it. Send it up to Ratty along the boards, and Meatsail is going to drive down to intercept that, and the Reapers will bat that away to interrupt the play there. Ratty's going to come away with that, sends it up to Cute Carl, and the defense was there, and it sends it all the way back down. Kiwi is going to have to once again quarterback this offensive play with 10 seconds left, as the Beavers are going to get one last shot to make anything happen. Carl sends it across. Meatsail down right on the pads. Great save by Grip to end the game. 3-2 for these two teams. Regulation win for the Rocky Mountain Reapers. 3 points to them, none for the Beavers, but definitely a lot of offensive game there, and we're definitely going to see some interesting things come game 2. As we see similar lines starting. I don't believe we have any substitutions going forward, but we'll see if players come out before the end of the beginning of the first game. I would put a virtual sticky note in the counter if I could. OBS is not that kind, unfortunately. We get ready for the face-off. And we'll once again go to game 2 between the Rocky Mountain Reapers and the home Albany Beavers. Ratty's going to win the face-off there. Ratty comes up with it, sends it right on the body of Grip, who manages his first save of the game. Apologies, folks. The score bug is once again having a fit, so the only thing currently accurate seems to be the time and the score. So please only pay attention to those. The rest we will deal with in the off time while we have the time. And Carl will come up with it. Sends it up to Meatsail, who sends it back up to Kiwi. Kiwi's all alone, sends it, tries to beat Grip, but he manages to get his stick out in time. And he's going to send it all the way down there. Carl sends it back to Kiwi, who sends it back to Carl. Carl sends it up to Meatsail. Pretty's going to come away with it. Owen's going to get a shot on net, but it's not quite there, and it's sent back up to Ratty at center ice. Ratty slows it down, but it's open, and he sends it to Carl. Carl is going to try to beat Grip there, and he goes top shelf. Carl beats Grip, and a great display there. Carl just beats all 3 defenders and shoots at a perfect angle to beat Grip. 1-0 for the Albany Beavers in the first period of the game. Chadwick is going to get that, send it all the way up. Kiwi's going to win that battle, however, and he's going to send it up. And Meatsail and Chadwick are going to battle for it. Bounces the puck a couple times as Bubba goes along the boards up to Chadwick. Chadwick's going to have a lot of time and space at this, sends it across to Pretty. Pretty is going to shoot, and it's just a little wide and gets on the body of Rogue as Meatsail gets it. He might have a bit of a breakaway here. He's going to have a chance, but Bubba just gets the stick in time to deny a chance. Owen get 2 defenders along the board as he sends it across to Bubba. Bubba cuts across center ice, shoots it, and it's just slightly wide of the Beavers' net. Carl's going to have the puck along the boards as Carl continues to have it off the body of Pretty as he sends it all the way down to Meatsail in the corner of the Reapers' offensive zone, the Reapers' zone. Carl just passing the logo. Getting across, setting a shot off, and it's just wide of the net. Still more offensive pressure here by the Beavers. Definitely taking their regulation loss in the last game pretty hard. As they seek to improve and win back 3 points in this game. Owen along the boards, bounces off and goes to Chadwick. who sends it back to Bubba. Bubba sends it back up to Owen, but Kiwi will get there in time to intercept that, and he sends it all the way down to Meat Sale, who bounces it off the back of the boards behind the net. Bubba sends it up to Chadwick. Chadwick cuts, and he beats Meat Sale, but his shot goes wide and over, well high of the net. Across Meat Sale, who sends it back. Chadwick will send that all the way up as Owen and Cute Carl are battling for that. And Owen is going to send that up, and Carl will come away with the draw, and the Beavers will restart their offensive pressure here. Carl slows it down and loses it to Bubba, but Kiwi was there to intercept that play. Meat Sale cutting across, and Chadwick will win the draw there. Ratty's going to come away with a breakaway. Ratty just getting it off and tries to bat it back in the air, but no dice as he misses. And as we come to the end of the first period, of the last 10 seconds or so, the Reapers are going to have a shot, and it's wide, as the Beavers are going to try to send this and waste the last little bit of the first period. 5 seconds left, and they might have one last shot here, and not quite, as Ratty loses possession of the puck. And we go to a slight intermission, as shots 3 for the Beavers and 2 for the Rocky Mountain Reapers. Gets set for the second period here, and we'll go to face-off. Second period, as we get started, Ratty sends it and loses possession as it's gone back to Kiwi. Kiwi sends it up to Chadwick. Chadwick is going to run along with this. He's going to try to take his time beating Kiwi. Chadwick manages to do it, and it's off the body of Rogue. Great shot, but Rogue is in the right place at the right time. Pretty loses possession, and it goes to the corner. Sends it across, and Rogue gets a stick on it to interrupt that play. Bubba sends it back to the blue line as Chadwick's going to try to reset here and try to get it through the bodies, but doesn't quite manage it. And Meat Sale will try to get that, but he fumbles. And the Reapers will take possession in their own end now. They send it up. Kiwi goes all the way, almost an icing, but it sends all the way down. And Carl will get it at the blue line. Carl's going to take his time here once again as it's interrupted and batted all the way down, as Rogue will come out to play that and shoot it up to Ratty as he manages to get there, but Chadwick interrupts that pass to Cute Carl from Ratty. Ratty tries to get it out to center, but no one was there as Owen bats it down for Bubba. Bubba will come through, send it across to Pretty. Pretty just wide of the net. Great setup and play by Bubba, but no dice. Bubba's going to bounce that along up the boards, but Meat Sale will be the one who comes away with it. Carl loses it as the Reapers will bounce that all the way back into the opposing end. Meat Sale will move up. Owen will try and win the draw there, but he doesn't quite manage it, and Carl's going to reset. As Bubba gets in front of the net, and it's off the stick of a Reapers defender. Went a little too quickly for me to read who that was, but great stick there to block that shot. Definitely been seeing a lot of defensive improvements from teams over the games and over the season, but great play as Owen is once again on his own. Owen coming in, taking his time, shooting up and across, and it's over on top of the net Not quite what he wanted, but you could definitely see the talent there to slow down and take a shot on net. Patient with the puck. And the Reapers are going to have to start moving a little more intensely if they want to get something going, as Meatsail and Ratty are going to come away with it. And it's off the stick, and it's just off the post right through of Grip, as it almost went in the net there, the wrong angle. Kiwi gonna look for top shelf as he goes and loses the draw to Pretty. Kiwi will send that back down. Ratty, and it's off the bottom of Chadwick. Chadwick sends it all the way up to Owen. Owen across to Bubba, who wasn't in the right places. It's off the stick of Rogue, who gets it into the corner in a really dangerous position. As look out, here come the Beavers, 3-on-2. Cute Carl with the puck. Sends a shot across to Meatsail. Meatsail didn't have his stick at the right angle. Meatsail sends it back down to Ratty in the corner. Ratty across. Reapers will interrupt that as Owen comes away with it. Racing is Meatsail and Kiwi. Owen slows it down along the boards. Sends it across to center. Rogue manages to shoot it up and away from his crease. The Reapers will get it back into the Beaver zone as Kiwi will win the race there to get to the puck and send it up to Meatsail with about 30 seconds left in the second period. Meatsail sent it to Cute Carl, who didn't have their stick in the right place at the right time. Carl will go behind and sends it up to Ratty, who bounces it off the blade and across the net. Or the crease, sorry, of Grip. 15 seconds to go in the second period. 1-0 for the Albany Beavers. Meatsail sends it up to Ratty. Ratty on his own, skating, and it's just tipped off of the pad of Grip as we once again go to the third period intermission. 5 shots for the Albany Beavers and 4 for the Rocky Mountain Reapers. Somewhat poetically, 4 shots for them. As we get ready to start the third period and the last one of the game, potentially, or the last regulation period of time for these two teams. Keeping in mind that there is a break next week. I believe this will be the last regulation game for these two teams for at least, I believe, 10 days. So we get our break. Meatsail sends it down to Ratty. Ratty tries to get it and bounces and flubs it off. Ratty sends it up and Grip gets a stick on it to send it up and keep the play going. Not getting it anywhere near his net if he can help it. Owen sends it across to Chadwick. Chadwick in all alone. But Kiwi was there. Carl and Owen will duel for this as Carl just shoots it up to the corner to Meatsail at the blue line. Meatsail will break the legs of Pretty. Deke, Meatsail off the pad, and it's just wide of the net. Completely open, and Ratty could not get that home. His Grip was down and out across at the other side of the net. Chadwick will get that back down to Bubba. Chadwick will race to get there. Bubba will slow that down as Meatsail pressures him for it. Gets it up to Rogue. Owen tries to get a shot off, and it's off the post, off the netting. And the Reapers are desperate to get something here with about 3 minutes to go in the third period. Bubba taking his time, sending it back around to Owen. Owen along the side. Owen cutting across. It's interrupted by Carl as Carl shoots it up safely to Meatsail, and look out, but no, it goes past the Reapers, and Kiwi will shoot that all the way down safely to interrupt and reset the play. Brady's going to take it in his own end, start the speed, shoot that across to no one in particular. Owen will shoot that up to, once again, no one in particular, as Bubba races for it, beats the 3 defenders there. But Meatsail will be the one who comes away with the puck, and Pretty will win the battle between him and Ratty there, as Pretty sends it all the way up. Cute Carl intercepts. Gets it up to the blue line. Bubba sends it down to Owen. Owen sends it out across to Chadwick. Chadwick off the pad. Bubba's got an open net and he just shoots it wide. I don't know if that was off the stick of Rogue, but that was just barely missing the net. And a couple wide open chances for both teams. As Meatsail will come away with it 2-on-1. Carl and Meatsail. Carl shooting, and it just goes over the net. Both teams getting really good plays and chances here, but both wide and high. Accuracy not the best represented stat here for these two teams. Owen shoots, and it's off the body of Rogue right on net. Great stop to keep this game going. Hewley along the boards will send it up across to Meatsail. Minute and a half to go. 1-0 for the Albany Beavers. Meatsail taking, and it's off, and it's just wide. Bouncing puck in front of the net. Ratty will race Chadwick for it. Chadwick sends it up. Bubba at the blue line loses it. Owen manages to get it back for the Reapers. Owen sends it up, and it's just wide of the net. 1 minute to go for the Reapers. 3 points on the line for them. Pretty across, sends it down. Cute Carl will get it on the puck. Owen sends it across, and it's off Rogue once again. Rogue standing tall here. Ratty will come away with it and keep going. Waste time. 45 seconds left. Ratty sends it across. Grip off the pads behind the net. Ratty will wrap around, and he just barely misses it, and it's off Grip once again. As it careens to the neutral zone, Carl will send it up to Meatsail. Meatsail down to the corner. Holds it. 30 seconds left. Meatsail gets it up and tries to go around for Michigan, but fails to do so. Carl at the blue line sends it up, and it's batted away to Pretty. Pretty sends it across to Owen. Owen, look out, wide open. Owen gets a shot off of Rogue. Save. 10 seconds left. Chadwick breaks, tries to get a shot off. Bubba gets a shot. He scores! 5 seconds left, and the Reapers have tied the game. Bubba, the hero of the hour, keeps this and shoots it top shelf to beat Rogue, and we are going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen, between these two teams. What a fantastic last second play to keep the team in it. Amazing play, and amazing shot by Bubba. As we look at the stats, 10 shots for the Beavers and 11 for the Reapers. An impressive display as we are about to get overtime going. We'll definitely be seeing some autographed jerseys after this. The Big Bubba, Big B. As we get to center ice, extra time, as Owen will come away with it. Bubba sends it across. Meatsail will send that back up. Pretty will interrupt that draw. Pretty's gonna try to get there, but it looks like he might not have space. Sends it up, and Ratty will come away with that. Ratty gonna try for a bit of a space drive here, but nope. He loses it, and it gets sent all the way back down into the Beaver zone. Well, a great play by the Reapers to keep it going, as the Beavers are gonna try to come away with it there, but nope, no shot attempt there as it's sent across. As the Reapers almost seem to, as just as I'm about to talk about things, the Beavers make it interesting, and Kiwi will not quite get the stick on it. Sends it behind to Ratty, who couldn't quite get his stick there. And it's sent up to Pretty, who goes all the way there. Owen in all alone on a breakaway. Owen shoots it, and it's just high of the net. Meatsail will get it, but Chadwick will intercept it. Bubba and Cute Carl are going to race for it. Carl's going to win. Try to turn across, sends it all the way up to Ratty in the corner of the offensive zone. Sends it across. Carl tries to beat, and Grip manages to get his pads on it. Beautiful stop, beautiful dash by Grip. That's a great move. He was trying to cut across, and he just stops the puck perfectly. Just doesn't quite get on the stick of Chadwick. Chadwick sends it back down to Owen. Owen, look out, cutting across. Owen at center ice, loses it to the corner. Meatsail races for it. He's going to race Chadwick. Sends it up to Ratty. Ratty doesn't quite get his stick there. Loses the race to Pretty. Pretty sends it down and up. He will safely take it into his own zone and send it down to Bubba, who is going to start the drive. Sends it up to Chadwick. Chadwick loses it off his blade as the Beavers just shoot it back down. As Meatsail, and very weirdly, bats it out of the air, and Grip manages to get his stick and bats it out of the air back and sends it all the way down to the Beaver zone. Carl, gonna do a bit of a drive here. Tries to get it puck up, but loses it, and Owen is gonna send this up. Owen getting a shot, and it goes wide off the skull of Rogue, who's gotta feel that ringing in his head. Great stop by Rogue to keep it going. Ratty gets a shot off, and it's wide. Grip managed to get a little bit on it. Pretty gets a chip up. Ratty will bat it back out of the air. Meatsail will get it in front of the net. Meatsail, and it's just off the post, barely behind the pads of Grip, as he just managed to get it wide. Cute Carl will come away with it, and it's off Grip once again. Grip standing tall, the wall in net. Meatsail coming around. Owen will bat it out of the way. Defensive play there, and the Reapers will once again bat that out of the air to send it to the corner. Meatsail driving play once again for the Beavers. Beavers keeping strong on the pressure, send it across to no one in particular. Meatsail's going to race for it, and he's going to win it. Sends it behind the net to Ratty. Ratty tries to get a center open line there, misses it, sends it back to Carl at the blue line. Carl goes in for the plague, shoots, and it's wide of the net of multiple defenders. Meatsail will, however, win the draw there, send it out to center off the skate of Chadwick, and it's sent back to the boards there. Pretty will come away with it at center line, and Meatsail will just interrupt him for it, and it almost looked like Grip wanted to come out of the net there, but he smartly moves back safely in the net. Bubba at the boards sends it all the way, and almost an icing there, but no call, obviously, without those rules. But he sends it to Kiwi. Kiwi chips it up a little too far for Meatsail or Ratty to get there. Chadwick will wrap around his own end but shoot above his net, and it will bounce all the way to the logo and back to Chadwick. Chadwick, look out, coming in, driving pressure, driving play. Chadwick gets a shot off, and it's almost in front of the net, almost careens to Owen, who didn't have his stick on right in time. But Ratty, look out, he's got a breakaway off the... Oh my goodness, goalies standing tall in this game exactly when they need to, as the first overtime comes to an end. My goodness, holy moly. 13 shots for the Albany Beavers and 12 for the Rocky Mountain Reapers. Pretty evenly spaced game despite everything. They're both teams creating offensive pressure, both getting really decent defense when they need it, and both goalies just playing out of their minds. 923 for Grip and 917 for Rogue. As Owen will win the draw there. Bubba is going to come away with it. Bubba with the shot goes slightly over the net. Meatsail sending out across to Carl. Carl up to Ratty, who wasn't in the right space, just a little far of his stick, but he manages to bounce that off and keep it in the Reaper's end. Ratty still battling for it, chips it up. It's Bubba. Kiwi sends it down to the corner for Ratty. Ratty sends it back up to the boards for Kiwi. Cute Carl is going to come away at center ice with this, as Kiwi gets it to the blue line. Meatsail Along, goes in front of the crease. Ratty gets a chip off, and it's off the pads of Rogue, who careens it to the corner. Just absolute chaos right now as Owen comes away with it. Owen going for a shot off, almost in the 5-hole of Rogue, but he manages to shoot it behind his net. Pretty, and Owen tries to go for a bat out of the air and tip it down, but not quite there. Chadwick sends it up, and to the corner of the Beavers as Owen will come away with it. Owen going for a wraparound. Not quite, as he turns back away. Chadwick comes away with it, doesn't quite get his stick on there, and it's a battle in front to get it out and clear. Meat Sail will drive the net, chip it up, and it's off the body of Pretty, and Bubba is going to drive this back down to the Beaver zone once again. Bubba manages to chip it all the way back up, and it goes behind the net of Rogue. Kiwi sends it all the way down, and Pretty will do a reset here. Drive speed for the Reapers. Pretty sends it across to Chadwick. Chadwick not moving, looking at his options as he kind of fumbles the puck a little bit, but sends it all the way up, and Ratty will come away with a breakaway here. Ratty shoots and off the post! Just barely manages to beat Grip on the wrong side and just glances off the post to the corner. Meat Sail coming in for another try. Meat Sail patiently waiting, and it's off the body of Grip. Grip standing absolutely like a giant here for his team. Pretty sends it back up to Owen. Owen fumbles it. Meat Sail will come away with it, and Owen will win the draw, but Meat Sail will come away with it again. Deking is Meat Sail, and he loses the possession there, but sends it to Ratty. Pretty will come up with it along the boards. Look out, we might have a... Nope. Carl manages to get there in time. Pretty sends it up, and it's wide of the net as Meat Sail shoots it back to the blue line. As Meat Sail and Kiwi both try to get it out, and they fumble, but Kiwi just manages to get it up in time before the Reapers could have a chance to recuperate. Ratty sends it back down into the corner for Meat Sail. Bubba intercepts. Coming up along the boards, the blue line, there's a battle. Send it back. The Reapers. Bubba trying to win the battle draw here. He oddly bounces off and gets hit and loses his feet there as he tumbles down. Owen manages to beat him. Owen trying to slow it down and get it to Bubba in front of the net, but he doesn't manage to. Carl will race him there. Two of the defenders might be down. Carl gets it to Meat Sail. Meat Sail slightly fumbles it off the tip of his stick. Sends it down to Ratty behind the net. Ratty, Meat Sail trying to send it back out to Ratty, but Bubba manages to intercept. Ratty will turn and cut across, but it will be Pretty sending this safely up for Owen. Owen chipping it down to Chadwick. Chadwick sending it up and up to Owen. Owen tries to get it there, and he just sends it up and off the skull and off the post. Just the perfect bounce for Rogue to keep it in. Crazy plays here by both goalies as it goes wide to the corner. 15 seconds to go in second overtime. And we're seeing just absolute insanity from both goalies here as Carl will waste time setting it up to Ratty, who loses it to Pretty. And that is going to do it for second overtime. The shots are just going wild right now. 16 for the Beavers and 15 for the Reapers, as the Beavers are starting to run away a little with some offensive pressure, but both teams still managing to showcase both their offensive strengths, but having their goalies bail them out when they need to. As we get back to center ice, and Owen is going to win that. He's won most of the face-offs this game so far. Bubba sending it up across. Rogue deep in his net. Manages to win the battle there. Bubba sending it up and trying, but nope, he will go all the way down, and Grip will come out of his net to play that. Chip it up to Bubba. Bubba tries to jump for it, but he manages to miss. And it's sent back down to the Reaper's end as Ratty almost tips that up, but Pretty manages to win the draw there. Pretty's going to race for that as Bubba comes in to swoop and grab it. But Kiwi will fumble to win this as Bubba cuts across and sends it all the way down. And Chadwick is going to reset this here. Chadwick shoots. Try to get across, and Bubba tries a tip, but it goes wide of the net. It's right across the crease. Meatsail sends it up to Carl. Carl running with speed, and it's off the body of Grip, right on net, but a perfect positional awareness by Grip. Owen sending it up to Chadwick. Chadwick loses the puck to Ratty. Ratty chips it up to Meatsail. Meatsail, it's interrupted by Pretty, who sends it back down, and Ratty will try again as he sends it to cute Carl. Carl gets a shot off, and it's off. Two defenders as it goes through the body of one, and off Grip, who pokes it away. Meatsail cutting across, and it's interrupted by Pretty as cute Carl comes in, sends it out and across. It's off the stick of Grip, who sends it back out into the zone to maintain pressure. Pretty sends it back to Bubba. Bubba cutting across, sends it to Owen. Owen, who's got some speed here, but he's got a lot of defenders on him. What's he going to do? He sends it back up to Bubba. Bubba, who just manages to slide just too far across. And Grip may come out here to play this. And he just kind of passes that to Chadwick, who safely puts that up to Pretty as he returns to the net. Chadwick and Ratty racing for it. Chadwick will chip that up and above Ratty. Up, and they'll send that back down as it comes across the net, and it's chipped away by Grip quite easily. Pretty. As there's a battle in front, Owen will cut across the sides. Owen trying to beat some defenders, but it's sent back away off the body of one of the Reapers. As it's sent up to Ratty. Ratty got a breakaway. It's off the pads of Grip, who manages to keep it into the corner as Chadwick takes it away, sends it up, and it will be intercepted by Meatsail. Look out, 2-on-1, Meatsail and Ratty. Meatsail gets it, and it's wide of the net. Shot wide as Owen, coming along the boards, getting a shot, trying to bide his time, gets it back, tries to get a center out, but it's intercepted by cute Carl. Chadwick will get a body on that. And he sends it back down to the Beaver zone. Meatsail will send that up. Kiwi sending it across. Cute Carl chips it up to Pretty, who keeps the play going. But the Reapers will keep it there and keep it going. Bubba coming to the corner, sending it across to Rogue. Rogue, oddly not moving, but was the right move as careens across his pads and goes in. As Bubba tries to get the stick off, and it's off the post, off of cute Carl's stick, and off the crossbar, just goes wide. Holy moly! Just insane bounces here. With 60 seconds left, just crazy, crazy bounces, and both goalies are playing lucky out of their mind. At this point, it's just a matter of who Lady Luck doesn't favor. Meatsail tries to get it across, and Grip just barely gets it off the skate. And it goes back into a Beaver stick, but he still manages to get it out. Owen sends it across. Ratty will intercept. With 25 seconds left, Pretty will intercept it and try to get it to Owen in front of the net. Bubba will get it there. Ratty's going to try for one last try. Beating Chadwick. Chadwick, he gets open. Ratty shoots off the dome of Grip. And my God, 5 seconds left. Cute Carl, the shot, and it's blocked. Ratty tips it up, and that will do it for the second or third overtime. I cannot count at this rate. And Rogue with a 944 save percentage, Grip with a 955. Both goalies just dominating this game. They both came to play, and there is no quit in either of them. You cannot blame either goalie for whatever happens this game. They have just absolutely dominated. This is some of the most, like, I don't even know if I'd say prestigious goaltending, but this might just be the most locked in I've seen these two guys ever play. As it's slightly wide, and Rogue will clear it there. Owen once again winning a face-off there. Owen trying to drag it along to Chadwick. Chadwick tries to set it back to Owen. Owen will get it there. Bubba will try to send it across to Chadwick, who wasn't home. Meat Sale coming in. He might have a 2-on-1 with Ratty. He's got Ratty with there. Ratty tries to beat Grip, and Grip manages to get in front of him, so he can't do that across. But we will continue to see where this game goes, as Cute Carl is trying to drive to finally end the third overtime of this game. Pretty. Cross center ice, sending it down to Rogue. Rogue bats it up to Pretty. And we're just going to see mistake-free hockey as much as we can. As I'm not sure if you can hear it in my voice, I'm definitely tired. And waiting for this to keep going. Owen tries to send it across to Pretty, who wasn't quite there. Pretty sending it back to the corner of Owen. Owen tries to get it out at center. Meat Sale will come away with it. Meat Sale and Ratty 2-on-1. Meat Sale, but look out, Ratty has a clear break here. Meat Sale, and it's beaten back to Chadwick. Meat Sale will wrap around. Meat Sale looking for an opportunity, getting it out, and Rogue shoots it back across to get his stick there, and goalie's just doing absolutely everything they can as Ratty goes for a Michigan, but doesn't quite get there, and it's interrupted by the defender. Bubba goes up, sends it across to Chadwick, who didn't get a stick there. Chadwick sent it down, and Kiwi will bat it up there to Cute Carl. Cute Carl running in. Two defenders. Ratty beating him there. Cute Carl, and it's off the stick of Pretty. Back to the corner of the Reaper's end. Pretty will go behind his own net. Bubble along the boards of his own zone. Sends it all the way up to Chadwick, who wasn't quite there. And Cute Carl will have it and send it to Meat Sale. And it's interrupted by Bubba. Kiwi kind of fumbles it there, but managed to probably win the race here and sends it up to Ratty, who doesn't come away with the control he wants there. And look out, it's Bubba, Chadwick, and Owen. 3-on-1. Here we go. Bubba sends it up and across. Owen doesn't quite get his stick on it, and it's wide of the net. 3-on-1, no capitalization there. Meat Sale, he's alone, sends it off the board, it's up and over the net. Meat Sale with a great opportunity there, but Grip standing tall. Oh my god, it's just... And Grip comes away to beat Meat Sale, and he'll continue this. Both goalies refusing to let this game end. Rogue and Grip with the absolute stare down. This is probably the best goalie performance I've seen between both teams all season. Just incredible, as Rogue kind of makes a mistake and sends it up to Bubba, but the team will recover for it and send it up to Ratty. Ratty and Meat Sale 2-on-1. Ratty sends it up and scores! Ending a phenomenal performance by both teams as Rogue sends it up to Grip. Grip tries to stand tall one last time for his team. Ratty gets the perfect angle, shoots it there, and ends an absolute dominant streak for both teams. 923 save percentage for Grip and a 944 for Rogue. An absolute stellar series from both these teams. I cannot commend either of these goalies enough. Just insane performance from both these guys. as that will do it for our series here. I don't have much to say apart from, you know, join the Discord, join the Puck Hockey League Discord, join PHLN, give us a follow on our socials, give us a follow on our YouTube, check out our guides on Next Shift, and we will see you in the next one. Have a great night, folks.